2022 is here, so now what? What are you going to do to solve what you could not last year in 2021? Keep watching this video as you find out how we at Intro Awareness Coaching help people, which would be really helpful for you to solve the past so you can actually achieve your future. So we just wrapped up of our 2022 wealth retreat. So each year we have a wealth and spirituality retreat where basically we focus on the next year's goals. Not only do we look at what did we do the previous year that we set out to do and what percentage did we achieve that, but there's a lot of different things. One of the particular things I want to share with you is that it's really key to talk about is what are you going to, or how are you going to deal with this in the upcoming year? So if you were to think about last year and what percentage of your goals that you set out to accomplish and achieve did you achieve? For me, it was 94%. And for other people, it varies. I know for our retreat, usually what we find out is at least people had to get 50% of their goals to actually even attend the retreat. It wasn't something we actually screened for. It was something like life screens for. So to help you or help our clients get to the next level, we have to take a look at and confront and face what didn't work last year. No excuses, no BS, just what did not work and what do we need to do to solve differently. So this is a little bit of a compilation of a list for this year's participants, and I just want to kind of highlight a couple of key things. Ego, this is something that people wrote, came up here and one by one wrote these things that didn't work. Alcohol, some people drink too much last year that they need to solve this year. Suffocation of freedom. That's a really big one in 2020 and 2021. So a lot of people are living, and a lot of people are living in places that aren't necessarily nurturing them. We are one of the people who are refugees that we talk about, who live in East Texas now. That's why you see the cowboy hat. And I don't have my belt buckle or my lasso yet, but it's coming, you'll see. But we live on a ranch in East Texas, and we became farmers, homesteaders, but we also do our coaching business. And it's just, there's three major things in 2022 that you really need to focus on. Number one is what you are doing. So what are you doing with your life, and what are you doing with your time? It's extremely important key factors in 2022 for your success. Besides number one, what you're doing, is number two, who are you doing it with? So it could be personal or it could be in business. Who are the people that you're choosing to surround yourself with, and are they nurturing? Are they helping you, or are they holding you back? It's something you really need to take a look at and take action. We're not going to blame other people for our, problems, our learning experiences, or our results that we're getting or not getting. It's really about us, and we have to take ownership. And then the third one is where you're doing it, what you're doing, who are you doing it with, and where you're doing it. Well, where you're doing it has to do with location. It could mean a new job for you in 2022. It could mean starting your own business finally in 2022, or it could be moving locations, maybe out of your parents' bedroom, or maybe from a state that doesn't support you or a city that doesn't support you to somewhere else. Highly recommend movement for this year. It's really the only way you're going to get to where you want to be. Drifting is really essentially having a goal or a lack of a goal and then going away from that. Think of if life is a path and you want to drive forward and you have that steering wheel, you need to claim that. You need to be in control or ownership of that steering wheel in order to get to where you want to go when you're driving a vehicle. Well, the year is a lot like that too. And when people let go of the steering wheel of their lives, they start to drift. Maybe they could crash, maybe they can go into past habits. So drifting is a really huge one that we work with our clients to overcome all the time until they solve that puzzle and problem. So divisive energy and cracks. You see cracks here, you see cracks here. Well, what is divisive energy? Divisive energy is anything that's trying to get you from your goals, from your dreams, from your true self. And there's a lot of it going on. I would argue, or I would say, in my experience, personally and professionally, that right now in 2022, it can fluctuate, but there's the highest level of divisive energies in the history of humanity. That's just my personal experience. I've also been studying self-mastery and human success and failures for the last 22 years and have pretty close to 200,000 hours in studying that. So from my point of view, this is what I see. So divisive energy is anything that's trying to get you to divide between you and what you love or who you love. And it could come in through the ego. It could come in through some trauma in the past, but it's something that needs to be addressed in the past that didn't work or wasn't fully solved or corrected that we need to correct it this coming up year. Balance and self-care. Sometimes people don't do that enough. So what are you going to do to take charge of that? Perfectionism. It's a really big one I see with my clients. Perfectionism is, there's a difference between mental perfectionism and then I would say divine perfectionism, spiritual perfectionism. Mental perfectionism is being like a robot, always walking in a perfect stride, breathing the perfect amount of air, doing that perfect gulp. Everything needs to be mentally perfect, which is physically impossible. Mental perfection is a physical impossibility. Spiritual perfection is really being at peace with whatever happens in each moment. That doesn't mean you're going to settle, but you're at peace with what is happening. You accept with what's happening, but you can actually take charge and take movements forward. So shiny objects kind of goes along with the drifting. You have your goal, you have your focus, and then, oh, what's that? Oh, that looks pretty, or that looks fun, or this person, or this situation. So these are a compilation of 2021 things, items that people they struggle with or they failed to solve completely. They need to work on it. It needs to be up at the forefront of their conscious mind and on their list, their task list, to be able to solve it. So there's just a lot of things going on. And what is your personal list? What is your personal list that you might want to take the time to invest to write it down right now or post in the comments below? The question I asked from the participants is, what is one or two, but ideally which is one or two key things that stopped you, that blocked you from having and achieving all of you wanted last year? And we're going to do this every year, but it's going to evolve as well. But I'm curious to hear from you. What is your list and how are you going to solve that? And if you ask me, this is what I tell my friends, this is what I tell my clients, that you cannot do it by yourself. We are not meant to solve the puzzle of our lives by ourselves. Now, yes, it's true, nobody's going to do it for you, but we need each other and we need professionals, we need coaching, we need people who are skilled in areas that we're not to help us evolve. They're faster than the time that it took them to get it. So I highly recommend the three major things in 2022. If I could look at my crystal ball, my cowboy crystal ball, and predict into the future, the three major things: what you're doing, who you're doing it with, and where you're doing are the three most important things you need to address and solve in 2022. Also, whatever's on your personal list. It could be alcohol, it could be relationships, it could be an emotion, it could be an energetic thing. Doesn't matter what the thing is, but it matters that you know what it is and you have a solution that you're going to overcome and you're going to solve this year, because without solving this, you're not going to get your goals and your dreams, or at least the high percentage that you want. So feel free to reach out if you guys need help. Feel free to write in the comments below, what is your 2021 obstacle that you need to solve for 2022. So I'm looking forward to seeing the next video. We're going to do a whole bunch more this year, and our goal, our mission is to help you become the best version of yourself every day. That's what we do every day at Intro Awareness. And thank you for all your growth that you did last year, and I'm looking forward to help supporting you in 2022.